Hello, and welcome to Hytera's IWCE Virtual Tech Talk presentation entitled The POC Ecosystem, Nationwide Cellular, Wi-Fi, and Unified POC and LMR Platforms. My name is Ty Estes, and I'm the Hytera Marketing Director for North America, and I will be delivering this presentation. The agenda for this presentation includes a push-to-talk over cellular overview. We'll take a look at the history of POC, what is it, how does it work. We'll take a look at the market growth that's projected over the next few years and review who uses POC services. And then we'll look at POC devices. I'll review the different types of POC devices, including handheld radio devices, POC Bodycams, POC cell phones, and POC BYOD. Then POC dispatching, the interface for group calling and GPS location tracking. And we'll look at a different type of POC service, the push-to-talk over Wi-Fi. What is it? What are the features and benefits, and how does it work? We'll also review another type of a POC system, the unified POC and LMR system. And then we'll take a look at the business of POC, the OpEx versus CapEx paradigm shift, POC pricing, and the POC distribution model. And then we'll wrap it up with a summary and a Q&A. Prior to POC, business communication was dominated by two-way radios and peer-to-peer and local radio networks. The concept of push-to-talk over cellular was introduced by Nextel in 1987 as an alternative to two-way radios. Nextel revolutionized business communication when it started to pass small voice packets from radios across their iDEN network. Nextel's iDEN network offered a then-unique push-to-talk walkie-talkie feature in addition to direct-dialed voice calls. At its peak in 2005, Nextel had over 20 million subscribers in the United States and served 198 of the top 200 markets. Nextel was acquired by Sprint, and in 2013, Sprint decommissioned the Nextel iDEN network, probably because it couldn't support the modern LTE data and voice bandwidth requirements. Today, push-to-talk over cellular uses the modern 3G, 4G, and LTE cellular infrastructure of mobile network operators to provide nationwide coverage with high capacity for voice, video, and data applications, along with unlimited call groups. How does POC work? POC devices connect to the cellular infrastructure of mobile network operators like AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon using a SIM card identical to those installed in cell phones. POC network services are hosted on the cloud. The cloud services are located on privately hosted servers owned and operated by the POC platform. Gateway routers provide connectivity between the LTE networks and the POC servers. Dispatch applications and the system's operations platform are connected to the POC cloud server through the internet. POC devices can also support Wi-Fi technology. This enables calls inside buildings with Wi-Fi network connectivity or with Wi-Fi network hotspots. POC devices can automatically and seamlessly switch to an LTE network when the caller moves outside the Wi-Fi network range. Key benefits of POC included coverage. That's nationwide coast-to-coast LTE network access. And capacity, high bandwidth and unlimited call groups, or channels as they're called in the LMR radio world. Fast deployments, POC uses existing cellular networks and devices can be used right out of the box. Lower cost, no infrastructure or system maintenance costs. Flexibility, you can integrate existing POC with existing radio systems, which we will touch on later in this presentation. And finally, POC is free from frequencies. There are no frequency licenses required and no issues with spectrum availability in densely populated areas. According to Persistence Market Research, the POC market will grow at a compound annual growth rate of 9.7% from 2019 to 2029, with the market value increasing from $3.2 billion to $10 billion over the next 10 years. The fastest growth will take place in the services segment, which includes hospitality and mobile workforces like electricians and plumbers. Growth in POC services is being driven not just by technology, but by the increase in mobile workforces and the global adoption of the Internet of Things. There is a proven demand for POC services. Remember that Nextel had over 20 million subscribers in the United States. So who uses POC? Businesses that buy POC services are looking for wide area group calling, fast deployments, and low startup costs. These are businesses with mobile workforces, like plumbers and electricians, towing companies, home services companies. Also businesses with changing work sites, like construction, where job sites change every few months, or event production and catering, where job sites can change daily. Also businesses that manage remote assets, like security guards and property managers. And businesses with multiple locations, like retail stores and car rental companies. For example, a tire or paint store chain with multiple locations will have drivers that move inventory between stores. These could also be companies with multiple locations for manufacturing, offices, and warehouse. PoC users are also traditional LMR users, such as hotel and resorts, healthcare, and education. Now take a look at the different types of PoC devices. The typical types of these push-to-talk over your cellular devices include PoC devices that are like handheld radios. There are also PoC Bodycams, PoC push-to-talk smartphones, and bring-your-own-device smartphones that run PoC apps. So PoC devices, like handhelds, they are purpose-built for professional radio communications. The push-to-talk button initiates instant half-duplex group calling or full duplex individual calling. PoC devices that feature digital noise suppression and high-volume speakers provide excellent voice quality in loud environments. Some PoC devices are equipped with high-resolution cameras for real-time video streaming to dispatch applications and other PoC devices. Cool thing about video communications is it improves situational awareness and facilitates problem-solving and decision-making. By having video capabilities in a PoC device, remote workers can share video of issues in the field with dispatchers who can help resolve problems without sending a supervisor to the job site. PoC devices are ruggedized with IP ratings for full protection from dust and water and are MIL standard compliant for shock and vibration. Built-in Wi-Fi supports in-building communications and push-to-talk over Wi-Fi networks. GPS positioning enables real-time tracking and positioning through dispatch applications. And PoC devices with powerful next-generation lithium-ion polymer batteries can deliver up to 24 hours of operation under the 5590 conditions. PoC devices also support a variety of safety features, including one-touch emergency buttons, flashlights, and remote stun and revive, where a dispatcher can remotely disable a lost or stolen radio. Dash mount car kits are also available with handheld microphones for safe mobile calling. These are also known as lock boxes because they can secure the radio in the vehicle. Other features include built-in Bluetooth connectivity to earpieces, push-to-talk devices, and other wireless accessories. They can also feature LCD displays that provide high resolution and access to a GUI menu system with a clean and simple navigation, and the ability to send, receive, and view text messages between the dispatcher and other PoC devices. Hytera's new PNC3ADS PoC device is network approved by AT&T. Network approval from a major mobile network operator is important because this ensures network access. Network approvals also require a significant amount of time, testing, and collaboration between the carrier and the manufacturer. And this is what you get from AT&T, this big beefy bad boy of a network that is coast to coast, and that's what you get with the access to a nationwide cellular network. In addition, the Hytera PNC3ADS is also approved by Rogers, the leading mobile network operator up in the Great White North. You may have noticed that I didn't show any fixed vehicle PoC devices in my previous slide. Fixed vehicle devices are similar in appearance to mobile two-way radios and are available from a few PoC device manufacturers in order to comply with DOT requirements. There are some users who prefer a mobile computer or a vehicle tablet, but many users prefer a lightweight handset and a lockbox or car kit for vehicle use. With today's mobile workforce, a handheld PoC device with a car kit meets DOT requirements when it's used with a palm microphone, and the radio can travel with the worker outside the vehicle. That allows the worker to have communications with supervisors when working on the job site, and allows dispatchers to track worker locations outside the vehicle to coordinate jobs with other workers, and to know where a worker is in an emergency situation. Another type of PoC device is the PoC Bodycam. Some manufacturers have taken PoC Bodycams to the next level and combined a body-worn camera with a PoC push-to-talk device and a remote speaker microphone to create this integrated all-in-one design. PoC Bodycams support the same features of other instant push-to-talk devices, like individual and group calls between dispatch and other PoC devices, high-quality audio, and built-in GPS and Wi-Fi. Video can be streamed real-time back to dispatch over cellular, LTE, or Wi-Fi networks for nationwide monitoring of events, or video can be stored directly on the device. It can also be streamed with high-efficiency video compression to reduce data plan costs, and it can be encrypted to protect evidence. PoC Bodycams have umpteen megapixel cameras with high-definition 1080p video recording. The Hytera VM780 PoC Bodycam features a 216-degree rotatable camera with a wide angle and large field of view for flexible handheld or uniform attached operation. Pre- and post-recording is a video buffer feature that captures video of events for up to 30 seconds before and after the user turns the video recording on or off to ensure recording of crucial events. And because PoC Bodycams are usually used in security and public safety applications, they are ruggedized to mil standard and IP ratings. Touchscreens provide a fast and easy way to operate the device, make group calls, and change settings. And they can feature high-capacity batteries that provide up to 8 hours of continuous video recording. They can also offer several safety features, including emergency buttons that automatically start video recording and immediately trigger the emergency alarm to the control center. Other features can include Bluetooth push-to-talk, watermark stamping on videos, and charging contacts that are also data ports. Some PoC Bodycams can support automatic night vision that ensures that the Bodycam captures the necessary video in dark and low-light environments. Some PoC Bodycams even support infrared video capture. Video can be live streamed from the field when necessary, but this can incur high data costs. So a good solution is to have a multi-unit chargers that also function as video download docking stations. The Bodycams use the combination charging contact and data port feature to enable this functionality. So in this single site application, you have a large, say a security staff, and at the end of the shift the guards drop their Bodycams into the chargers, and the video is automatically downloaded to a computer with digital storage, like a large drive or a drive array, that is controlled by a video management software application. In addition to single-site standalone collection system, video can also be automatically uploaded to the cloud, where a web-based video management application is used to organize vast amounts of video files. It's important to note that both single-site and cloud-based storage solutions should support chain of evidence handling procedures. Another type of PoC device is the PoC smartphone. This device supports the best of both worlds. It's a rugged and purpose-built PoC device that also runs apps and makes phone calls. PoC smartphones support the typical PoC device features like instant push-to-talk, high-quality audio with noise suppression, GPS, and Wi-Fi. Some PoC smartphones, like the Hytera PNC550, feature dual SIM cards to provide flexibility for different network access plans, one for PoC and the other for a regular cellular plan or data-only plan. PoC smartphones can run apps and web browsers like regular cell phones, so they can run web-based dispatching applications. PoC smartphones have a large touchscreen like cell phones. This one has a rugged 5-inch Gorilla Glass display. And since they are purpose-built for business, PoC smartphones are ruggedized to mil standard and IP ratings so they can survive being dropped on a sidewalk, covered in dirt, or submerged in water. They can also shoot HD video and pictures and usually have a camera on each side of the device for sharing images with dispatch and collecting evidence. PoC smartphones can also feature lithium-ion polymer batteries for operating over a long shift. These can be dropped into a desktop fast charger or charged via USB. Everyone has a cell phone, and they already have built-in video, texting, Wi-Fi, and GPS capabilities, so why not use your smartphone as a PoC device? With the installation of a PoC app on the phone, any smartphone can become a PoC device with limits. Using cell phones reduces costs because you don't have to buy any PoC devices. But the monthly cell phone plan can cost more than double that of a PoC system if you're providing employees with phones. Smartphones can support push-to-talk with apps that designated a physical button on the phone or an app button, and they can run dispatching apps with the web browser. There are some disadvantages to smartphones, and one is the limited audio quality. If you've ever tried to make a call in a noisy environment or a concert, they're very difficult to have conversations with in noisy environments, and because they're not designed with noise-canceling technology and loudspeakers. And most smartphones are not ruggedized. We all know what happens when you drop a phone on a sidewalk or, God forbid, into a toilet. They also have shorter and variable battery life depending on how the device's settings are set up and how it is used. And finally, cell phones are personal devices. They're not exclusive to business use. They're loaded with distractions like personal texts, games, and social media. Providing a dedicated PoC device ensures employees use the device exclusively for business-related communications. Now here's a high-level comparison of the devices we have reviewed. PoC devices are purpose-built for business with high-quality audio and big speakers, rugged design, and prominent, easy-to-find PTT buttons. PoC devices also have dedicated emergency buttons and beefy antennas for extended range. All devices support group calling and instant push-to-talk. The asterisks on the BYOD phones are there because while the cell phone can technically do these functions, it's a little more cumbersome without dedicated interfaces and buttons. All of the devices support video conferencing. It can be difficult with some PoC devices if the camera is on the opposite side of the screen, but it can be done. All the devices support GPS. All PoC phones and smartphones can run cell phone apps because they have screens designed for them. They also support web browsers so they can run dispatching apps. In addition, PoC phones and smartphones can make phone calls. All devices can support text messages. Only PoC Bodycams can support evidence collection systems. And the PoC devices have car kits for safe use in vehicles. Next, we'll take a look at PoC dispatching applications. A key benefit to PoC systems, like digital radio systems, is the dispatching application. These can be standard installed software applications on a PC or Mac, client-server applications, or web-based applications for easy use and deployment. Dispatch applications enable instant group calling with unlimited group capacity from a central location. They also work with GPS-enabled PoC devices for location tracking and geofencing, and they also feature call monitoring and full call recording with log management. Here are some features typically found in a dispatch user interface. There are several menus that use to access different icons. These include contact lists, group lists, dynamic groups, alerts and alarms, and video conferencing. Across the top are the current calls in the system. The dispatcher can monitor any of these individual or group calls. On the right is the current live call with the dispatcher. This can include images sent and text messages. And in the center is the GPS map. The dispatcher can zoom to any location, find and select users for calling actions, and see GPS travel routes and geofences. Using a dispatch application, individual contacts can be called by selecting them from a list or on the map. Group calls can be made to pre-configured groups, or the dispatcher can create a dynamic group by selecting multiple contacts from a list. Or the dispatcher can select a group of contacts on the map, and the dispatcher can choose a voice call, a video call, or group text message. PoC systems that support video calling have dedicated dispatch application interface for video. Multiple video streams can be viewed simultaneously like any other video chat application. In addition, video can be saved and pushed to other devices in the field, and screenshots can be taken from the video screens, and incoming video can be pushed to specific devices in the field. In addition, the dispatcher can automatically pull video from devices in the field. Video calls can be made device to device, one to many or one to one for individual or group calls. They can also be made from dispatch devices to the PoC devices, dispatch to device. So if there is a camera on the laptop running the application, the dispatch application, or it's running on a phone, you can call from the dispatch application. You can also do video calls dispatch to dispatch. GPS is an essential tool for managing, scheduling, and tracking remote teams. Here's an example of a GPS tracking route on the map, and you can see the breadcrumb trail in real time as dots with timestamps. Each dot represents a GPS update that can be a user-defined time interval. A geofence is a mapped out areas that interact with GPS tracking. PoC Dispatch Applications that support geofencing enable alarm triggers when employees enter hazardous areas or when remote service employees stray from defined territories. Now we'll take a look at push-to-talk over Wi-Fi systems. Push-to-talk over Wi-Fi leverages the Wi-Fi capabilities in PoC devices and the fact that nearly any large building, campus, or facility already has a Wi-Fi network. A key advantage to push-to-talk over Wi-Fi is that it reduces equipment costs because it's leveraging the existing Wi-Fi infrastructure. So similar to how wide area PoC services leverage nationwide LTE cellular infrastructure, push-to-talk over Wi-Fi leverages the existing Wi-Fi for single-site communications network. Push-to-talk over Wi-Fi also enables rapid deployments because the setup is just a server installation and a site bandwidth survey. The devices used in push-to-talk over Wi-Fi can also provide nationwide PoC coverage with a simple SIM card installation. Another advantage of push-to-talk over Wi-Fi is that several single-site networks can be connected over an IP network or a VPN for a network of Wi-Fi systems. For example, a hotel or resort chain may want several locations networked together using a centralized dispatching application. Here's a push-to-talk over Wi-Fi application. We have a campus of multiple buildings and a vehicle yard. There is an existing Wi-Fi network with access points throughout the campus. Push-to-talk over Wi-Fi network is deployed with a server installation and a site bandwidth audit to ensure there is enough coverage for the whole campus. PoC devices are configured with group calls and device functions and distributed to employees, and a web-based dispatch application is used to initiate group calls from a single location and includes a facility-wide all-call or emergency call groups. And other call groups can be based on locations or types of employees like security guards using POC Bodycams, or managers that prefer to use cell phones, and several employees and managers can belong to multiple groups. The vehicle drivers need to communicate off-site, so they use PoC devices with SIM cards for PoC cellular access. Another neat thing about push-to-talk over Wi-Fi is that several networks can be connected over an IP network or VPN. So for example, as I mentioned before, the hotel or resort that wants to connect multiple locations. Who uses push-to-talk over Wi-Fi? Well, Wi-Fi is nearly ubiquitous in all buildings and industries, so this provides a wide open market for companies looking to leverage their existing Wi-Fi investment in Wi-Fi infrastructure. So buildings, schools, factories, hotels, resorts, and entertainment complexes are perfect candidates for push-to-talk over Wi-Fi. Next, we'll take a look at unified PoC and LMR systems. Unified radio communications platforms integrate different radio systems into a single wide area radar network with instant group calling and location-based dispatching. Unified platforms expand the capabilities and range of existing radio networks by integrating push-to-talk over cellular and other radio networks into a unified voice and video radio communication system that enables group calls that include different radio technologies. So here we have the Hardy Boys, and they're going to solve the mystery of the Unified Platform Radio Network. The key benefits of unified communications platforms include centralized operations with unified dispatching among different systems. This improves efficiencies in communications within large organizations. Unified platforms reduce costs by eliminating the need for system-wide upgrades, by integrating current radio systems with PoC and other radio networks, by enabling companies to maintain investments in their existing radio equipment. Unified platforms also enable instant nationwide group calling and video conferencing with groups that include different radio networks. They also include GPS location tracking applications that allow managers and dispatchers to quickly communicate with all users across different networks. Here's a diagram of the different types of radio networks that can be integrated into a unified PoC and LMR platform. On the left side is a PoC network and a DMR Tier 3 network connected to a PoC server. Because of the digital capabilities of DMR Tier 3 networks, they can be directly integrated with the PoC network. A DMR Tier 2 network and a third-party network are shown on the right. The third-party network can be any DMR, DPMR, P25 Tetra, or even a legacy analog radio network. These networks connect via a unified platform server, and a unified platform dispatch application controls and manages the whole system. And this unified platform dispatch application is the real technology that integrates the unified platform together and provides public safety grade dispatching and fleet management, group calling, voice recording, AVL, and camera monitoring. Unified dispatch applications allow radios from LMR and PoC networks to be dispatched and tracked within a single application. And these powerful dispatching clients allow managers and dispatchers to quickly command all users in different networks. Here's an example of a unified PoC and LMR network. This is a business with two locations. The central office on the left has a conventional trunked radio network, and the manufacturing facility on the right has a Wi-Fi radio network like we saw in the previous section. There's also a wide area PoC network for the mobile workforce of drivers and maintenance staff. The trunked radio network uses LMR radios, and the PoC and Wi-Fi networks use PoC devices. By adding a unified dispatch application, a unified platform server, we can build a unified radio network. And with the unified dispatch application, we can create groups like an all-call or emergency group. We can have groups based on locations or groups based on types of employees like managers. And we can even create groups that incorporate different types of radio technologies along with radios that are members of multiple groups. This application demonstrates how the unified server and dispatch application are the secret sauce for integrating a variety of different radios into a single communications ecosystem. I'm going to take a look at the business of PoC. PoC operational expenses versus the traditional radio capital expense is a paradigm shift for end users, especially in government, who are used to budgeting purchases instead of recurring payments, and for radio dealers used to selling radio systems hardware. Traditional radio private networks required significant upfront capital expenses. In addition to radios, you need to buy base stations, repeaters, antennas, in addition to maintaining the radio network. PoC is a subscription-based service with low operating expenses. The benefit to end users is low startup costs, low monthly costs, no maintenance costs, and flexibility. And many businesses today are used to the XYZ as a service sales model for subscriptions. Take a look at the PoC distribution model. And this starts with a PoC platform owner that owns and operates the cloud-based PoC server or servers and manages it all with an operations system application. The PoC platform owner uses the operating system to create and modify dealers in the systems. Dealers also access the operating system application to create and modify customers. The dealer will work with the customer to configure the call groups and device functions, such as which devices have video calling capabilities. Customers can access the dispatch application also, and then for location tracking and to modify groups and create dynamic groups. End users operate the PoC devices and apps on those devices. Each set of dealers and customers is an individual account, like a silo, and they are separate and secure access to the PoC system. Each dealer may also further silo customers by monthly or annual subscriptions. And this diagram is a simplification of a system that is of a much larger scale. This top-down approach has proven to work well, and with the Hytera PoC business model, the dealers own the customer relationship and do the billing, so they earn the ongoing subscription revenue. A key challenge for the PoC platform owner is to find the sweet spot in the pricing model that provides a good profit margin for the dealers and a competitive and cost-effective subscription price for the customer. PoC pricing. So PoC is a highly cost-effective business communication tool where the customers purchase PoC devices, which can cost about half the price of cell phones, and signs up for a monthly or annual subscription plan. The customer may also choose options like video or network-approved devices, etc. The customer gets a quickly deployed group communication solution that costs around $1 per day per user, which is a heck of a lot less than your average cell phone plan. PoC also supports professional voice and data applications at the same low subscription price, and they get all this without any infrastructure investment or ongoing network maintenance costs. Now with systems pricing, these are typically quoted on a per project basis by dealers. Push-to-talk over Wi-Fi systems are pretty straightforward. Audit the coverage, install the server, and configure the devices. Deploying a unified platform is more complex, so it's best to get a systems quote from a qualified dealer. Now for our summary. Today's PoC networks provide instant group calling, and PoC is a growing market for a wide variety of vertical industries. PoC radios, bodycams, and cell phones are rugged, purpose-built devices with different functions for different applications. We saw how PoC dispatching enables instant group voice and video calling and location tracking, and how push-to-talk over Wi-Fi is a simple solution for fast and inexpensive single-site or multi-site radio communications. We also reviewed how unified platforms integrate PoC, Wi-Fi, and LMR networks into a single radio system. And finally, we got some insights into the business of buying and selling PoC devices. Now, I would be remiss as marketing director if I didn't include a couple of shameless promotion slides. Hytera is a global company with deep roots in the U.S. radio community, with a broad product line of DMR radios, analog radios, and our newest product family of Hytera Halo PoC radios and group calling solutions. Here we have the new PNC 380S. It's an AT&T approved PoC device, the VM780 PoC push-to-talk body cam, and the PNC 550 PoC push-to-talk over cellular smartphone, and the Hytera Halo web-based dispatch application. These innovative and reliable PoC solutions are available at surprisingly affordable prices. In addition, Hytera provides a suite of PoC network systems, including Halo Nationwide the Halo Nationwide PoC network, Halo On-Site Push-to-Talk over Wi-Fi single-site and multi-site networks, and Halo Connect, our LMR and PoC unified radio platform. This concludes our presentation, and thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking some of your valuable time to watch this presentation today, and I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, there's a link under this video to a virtual room where we have a couple of guys who are smarter than me to answer any questions you might have. And please make sure you visit Hytera's IWCE virtual booth for more information on the innovative PoC products and services presented today. And if you have any friends who suffer from insomnia, please let them know that this presentation will be available on the IWCE virtual platform for the next 3 months. This is Ty Estes saying thanks again, and over and out.